The South African National Defence Force has denied allegations of a so-called torture squad within its ranks. This follows a four-part expose by the Daily Maverick, which claims to have uncovered the existence of such a unit. The publication claims that evidence collated by Open Secrets implicates at least 4 SANDF units in crime, some of which dates back to 2019.
We can state clearly, without any ambiguity, that the Defence Force operates in a constitutional and democratic state where all government institutions operate and adheres to democratic principles of the state. Therefore, like any other government department, the Defence Force can be scrutinized for anything that might seem to be going against the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and that must be done within the framework of openness and transparency. For the record, there are no military squads in the Defence Force that exist to carry out acts of torture and murder for whatever reasons. The South African National Defence Force stands for the defense and the protection of the people and will always act within the confines of the law and the Constitution. I thank you.
Nqobile Madlala attended that briefing and joins us now for a debrief of sorts. Nqobile Madlala, the SANDF turning the table on the media houses as well as open society, saying that the failure to report a crime in itself is a crime. What is that about?
Well, yes, Dudu. In fact, they were saying at that point that because the question was, have they then reached out to the organizations that have been speaking about such? And they were saying that if someone has evidence, it's very important that you go to the police. And when you do not do such, then already you are, in a sense, defeating the ends of justice. They're saying that this can be investigated. And so if you take it to the police, then the police will be able to investigate. And they have said that these allegations are quite damaging to what SANDF stands for. They regard them as the last line of defense. And of course, we've heard this term quite strongly used in so many terms, that they are the last line of defense. And they're saying at this point, when such allegations are put forward, then it damages so much of authority, but as well as how people believe in the work that they do. And they've said, refuted these claims, saying that the allegations are sort of fabricated, and they're saying that it's misinformation, and they're saying also that the media has a role then to play in ensuring that we are able to speak to the issues that they are facing, but also to the cases that they are dealing with at this very point. However, Dudu, what's very interesting is that with everything that they had come forward to explain, they've said that they are at the point really where they shouldn't be speaking about such, mainly because it is also being investigated. They refuted these claims, but saying that they're being investigated currently. There is a claim, of course, that one of the Hawks police officers was killed and was killed by them. And they said that all of that is being investigated, and they said that they do abide by the law. But of course, all of these will be still ongoing, and they are, of course, questions around the fact that can they then be in the public. They then spoke about the fact that they can't really dwell much on some of those investigations, mainly because some of them are sub judice. So it was quite interesting to hear it, Dudu, mainly because this becomes very difficult, because you expect the SANDF to uphold the law. So when you hear such claims, it becomes very questionable. And those were some of the questions that were then put forward. But they have said that there's no special unit of such, and that they have sent out some media releases where they have spoken to such issues, but mainly to do not really giving out more information beyond that. In most of the issues, they sort of complained and spoke about the effect of it being sub judice.
Nqobile Madlala, thank you very much for that comprehensive report.